already? Good morning. Good morning. So here's Team Sierra, and so please allow me to announce some rules before the presentation. So you will have 20 minutes to present your solution to the judges, and you will be given a warning when 5 and 2 minutes remaining. And after 20 minutes, the presentation will stop immediately. No information will be considered after 20 minutes has passed. And following your presentation, there will be a 10-minute question and answer, and you will be given a warning when 2 minutes remain. The question and answer will be stopped after 10 minutes, and you may begin when you're ready.
So good morning. We are Team Sierra. We're going to address our financial recommendations for agribusiness growth strategy in the future. So first, we want to set out our strategic goal, which is we know that this millennial market share will be significantly increasing in the coming decades. As such, we have two main strategies involving: one, customizability, and two, accessibility. So I, as a millennial, I will be looking for a financial advisor who can help me and my boyfriend achieve our goal of financial independence and early retirement.
Whereas to contrast, I need a financial advisor that's going to help me with a recent inheritance I just came into.
I recently graduated with student loan debt, and I'm hoping to find a financial advisor that can help me balance that while still saving up for the future.
And I, as a millennial, am interested in being a foster mom, and I'm looking for a financial advisor who can help me navigate a non-traditional family structure.
Millennials are a very diverse generation, quite different from previous generations, and this is evident in several key characteristics. First of all, millennials view relationships very differently than previous generations. And this applies to not only our personal relationships, but also our relationships with businesses. It's a common misconception that millennials don't form close, long-lasting relationships with other people or with brands. However, this is a misconception. It's true that millennials do not view relationships the same as previous generations. However, a lot of this is due to the different lifestyles that we lead. For example, millennials are constantly on the go. In their everyday lives, they tend to overschedule themselves and have multiple appointments in the same day. In their careers, they often switch jobs and locations throughout their lives. And so they need to take their relationships with them as they move locations throughout the day and throughout their lives. In order to do this, millennials have utilized technology to bring their relationships with them on the go through text, email, social media, FaceTime, etc. This is very important for companies who are hoping to form long-lasting relationships with millennials, that they can utilize technology in order to be with these millennials every day throughout the day. Companies should also remember that millennials tend to have a very skeptical view of relationships with corporations and with investors. One reason for this is that many millennials lived through the 2008 financial crisis and may have experienced a parent losing a job or even a home. And so for this reason, it's imperative that companies who are hoping to connect with the younger generation do so in as authentic a way as possible. It is proven that millennials who do develop authentic long-term relationships with brands and companies are very brand loyal. Millennials are also the most diverse generation to date. It's estimated by the year 2050, 1 in 5 Americans will be foreign-born. Additionally, it's estimated that the number of Caucasian Americans will be below 50%, and that Hispanic population will rise to almost 1/3 of the total population. Additionally, we are expecting a rise in non-traditional households as same-sex marriage becomes more socially and politically acceptable, and as many millennials reject the traditional ideas of marriage and children. This has several implications for marketing to millennials. One, we must realize that they are a diverse group of people with a diverse lifestyles and needs. Two, they may have diverse levels of financial literacy. In many cultural backgrounds, financial planning is not widespread, and so this knowledge is not passed down generationally. As we see a rise in immigrant families across the United States, we do expect to see a rise in differing levels of financial literacy and knowledge of financial planning. Finally, millennials are often called, as we know, the me generation, the special snowflakes. They tend to be seen as entitled and self-absorbed. And while this is a stereotype, which can be seen as somewhat negative, it's also a stereotype which, like most, has a grain of truth in it. Millennials do expect companies, and businesses to cater to their needs, their lifestyles, and present them with a product and service which is tailored especially to them. There are several barriers to millennials investing in the future and financial planning. The most obvious one is student loan debt. Today's average graduate has over $30,000 of student loan debt, according to the U.S. Department of Education. So consequences of this are that millennials do not have the same amount of assets as previous generations did around the same age. This makes it difficult for them to be interested in investing in financial planning. Another reason for this is wage stagnation, which has occurred since the recession of 2008. While many jobs have been added since the recession, wages have not increased substantially, and many of the jobs that have been added are in lower wage or part-time fields. And finally, as I mentioned before, many millennials are distrustful and uncomfortable with the financial markets. They see them as extremely volatile, and they see financial planners and investors as untrustworthy. One reason for this is, again, the experiences that they lived through the 2008 financial crisis.
So, because we know that millennials want honest and authentic relationships, both with their personal lives and their professional ones, we know that they need the same kind of relationship with their financial advisor. Because of that, we made a program called the Match Program. It involves the client, the millennials in this situation, preferring which kind of qualities and characteristics they want in their financial advisor. We'll have a list of different qualities. They can check what's important to them and how they want to define those. We understand that currently Edward Jones' business model requires the advisors to go out and seek the clients and recruit them that way. But it's also important to note that millennials spend their entire day on their phone, on their laptop, on the internet. We do our own research. We have no problem actually finding our own financial advisors. So with that in mind, right now, if I go on the Edward Jones website or if I pull up the app on my phone, the only way I have to filter out different financial advisors is through my zip code. As a millennial, I don't really care about that. I don't necessarily care that my financial advisor is close to me in relation to space. I care that they are close to me in terms of understanding me, being empathetic with me, and my response time. So the first issue right now with this software is that, yeah, you pull up by zip code, and that is not really relevant. The next issue, as you can see, it says 50 financial advisors. That's a really broad spectrum. Another problem is that they all say almost the exact same thing. I can't distinguish between these profiles. I don't know who's the best fit for me. I don't know if I like them as a person, if we connect, if they're going to be able to do what I need them to do. In order to fix that, we came up with the Match Program. We're going to go through a list of different filters, as we call them, of what I'm looking for in my financial advisor. It's going to be different for each one of us and for every other client. I'll pull up the website and I'll say, primary language. I might be proficient in English, but I'm more comfortable speaking in Spanish. I need a financial advisor that can discuss things with me in Spanish. Similarly, you go down, we have a special needs target. We might have a family member with MS. I want to make sure my financial advisor understands both the emotional and financial stresses of that and how that's going to affect my plan. You go all the way down, we still have geographic location. Just because that's not important to me and I might be traveling, doesn't mean someone else might want that face-to-face interaction every once in a while. And lastly, we have investment goals. Like I said, have a recent inheritance. I need a financial advisor that I know is going to understand what that means. Maybe they've gone through it themselves. Maybe they handle accounts like that primarily. Whatever they might be to me, I want to make sure that's important. While that's all happening externally with our clients, internally we're going to have a badge incentive program for employees. The badge incentive program works so that every time an employee goes through a training, a certification, any kind of proficiency test, they get a badge saying they're now proficient in a language, in a level of education, in whatever it may be on this list. The more badges you get, the more frequently you're proposed to the clients as a feasible pairing as a financial advisor. That's your incentive to keep working, to keep getting better, and to keep being more empathetic. We go through all the strengths and weaknesses of this program in particular, and there are plenty of strengths, but the one we want to focus on is that it really encourages the core values of Edward Jones. One of the core values is literally to put the interests and needs of the client above all else. This program literally does that. The client saying, this is my need, this is my other need, this is my need, and we cater to it. That's really important because our weaknesses is that it's going to be costly. I think it's going to be worth it though. You have to retrain your current employees that you have to make sure that they do specialize, that they are empathetic, and that they understand the needs. And in addition to that, you have to have a higher rate recruitment process to make sure that the people we're hiring are just as diverse as our clients. Just as diverse, just as understanding, and they can relate on a personal level. The opportunity is luckily one that we're already leaning into that skid with. The demographic is changing. The demographic of both our clients and of our workforce. I think that this program effectively takes care of all of that. The threat that we have to worry about is the incompetence of our potential new workforce. If we're hiring people that don't understand the value of the badge system, or they just might not care and not think that they need to have specialization or that proficiency, there's not much we can do to convince them of the importance of it, and that's a threat we're going to have to combat. In regards to the 4 to 5 forces of competition, I really just want to focus on 2 of them. The first one is that the bargaining power of the buyers is very strong. Because Edward Jones is not the only financial analysis, company. There are plenty of other options. Clients can go to many people. We understand that, and we have to combat that. More specifically towards this program, they also have strong bargaining power, specifically, literally, with the needs they want. Like I said, we're giving them a checkbox. We understand we're giving them the power. We want to give them the power because we want to cater to it. The other thing I want to talk about is the degree of rivalry. It's also very strong. Like I said, not the only company, more importantly, not the only company trying to implement this kind of plan. Everybody understands that millennials are needy. Everybody understands that we have to cater to them. We just have to make sure that we do it most effectively. While we are taking ideas and solutions about how to combat this issue, and this issue meaning the issue of millennials not feeling like they need or want a financial advisor, we did come up with the idea of putting emphasis on a student loan repayment plan. A lot of the millennials are coming out of this with student debts. We're all this age, we're all going to further education. Why not combat that directly? Well, after discussion, we came to the realization that there are already plenty of free or low-cost opportunities for millennials to be able to repay all their student loans. That's not really the problem. The problem isn't I don't know how to repay it, the student is I can't. Like, you just don't know how to repay it, and that's how it is. So having an advisor isn't going to fix that issue, and that's why we work with this program, where instead of reaching out to them and their specific needs, they reach out to us with their specific needs.
So one thing that we wanted to acknowledge is that rolling out a large program like this has a lot of inherent risk. It's a very costly program, and so one of the ways that we want to mitigate this risk is through rolling it out as a pilot program first. And so essentially we would start with a pilot program in 3 particular areas. And so we've targeted these 3 areas. They're suburbs near these major cities that meet specific qualifications that make them desirable for Edward Jones. And so each of these cities and counties essentially have a large millennial majority, and they also meet the income bracket that is ideal for Edward Jones. Additionally, these also provide a level of diversity in order to test our market, to test our idea against a market that is more diverse. Whether it's diverse as far as home structure, so as non-traditional families, which is what's listed with Clayton, or whether it's diverse as far as race and ethnicity, as with the other 2. So, with this, how we would restrict it initially is when you go into filter by zip code online or in store, what they would do is anyone who's within that zip code, they would take them to the filters. So the filter program would only be out for those counties originally. So after that, you also have to look at how we're going to train employees first. So along with only rolling out the zip code, the specialization by zip code, we're also only going to train a certain number of employees first. So we have designed a training program for 100 employees from all 3 of those sites in St. Louis. It's a 5-day training program that would require each of those employees to pick a specialization. So here are 4 categories that we came up with that they would pick and specialize in one of those categories. So whether it's cultural considerations and they're learning how to be more empathetic to different cultural backgrounds, or whether it's family structures and learn how to navigate the difficulties of non-traditional family structures and things of that nature. So each of these will basically allow people who may not have that background to better understand people from those backgrounds. Because we understand that Edward Jones has a hiring pool that is largely male, that is largely one demographic. But this would allow people to better match with people who don't match their demographic. And so, as with all of this, it's important to understand the cost implications of whatever we do. And so we went ahead and made a cost budget for the pilot program. And so we use current data from Edward Jones' website as far as labor costs, and as well as using all of the data that we compile online to calculate facility rental. One important note is that with the compensation costs, we would hire an outside PR firm to help us develop the initial curriculum. Over time, we would hope that Edward Jones could in-house and develop a more customizable curriculum that would best meet their needs. But first, it'd be better to hire in some experts to help us design a curriculum that is best for Edward Jones, which is a fairly standard practice. So, the total cost we are assuming would be around $280,000, including that.
All right. So currently we're at 2017 and the current number of financial advisors is 15,000. But while we're seeing the implementation of this pilot program, we anticipated growth as a result of this analysis of 5,000 additional financial advisors, getting us up to 20,000 by 2022. With this in mind, all these new financial advisors will need to pursue relationships with much more diverse clients to see those demographic shifts in the USA. So with that in mind, we also need to be pursuing and retaining and attracting specifically millennials, that catchphrase of the day. We would like to try and see long-term implementation eventually. We have to judge success of the short-term pilot program initially by looking at the market share we're achieving in those regions So we see positive market share and positive response from the clients that we're going to try and begin long-term implementation. It would be staggered and two-pronged. So first we have the geographic expansion. This would involve moving into cities, particularly areas with high populations of young, diverse, working professionals. We also have a customization expansion, and that we mentioned that badge program. So those four initial categories would stand. But in addition, employees would be able to select from a broader variety of badges in which to be qualified. We'd also want to work on retention. I know that Edward Jones already has a customer satisfaction survey that it uses, but we want to evaluate whether that is increasing with those cities and those branches that are using the match program. Next, ongoing training would need to occur. We know that there is a foundations workshop series that Edward Jones employs. We want to incorporate this diversity training into those workshops as well. So along with trying to reach this brand new kind of demographic of Americans, we also need to alter our marketing style to attract them best. We know that millennials in particular respond very well to humor at that campaigns. Furthermore, we all know millennials love to update their bios, make sure their profiles reflect their true personality, update their statuses and whatnot. So we can't emphasize enough the individualized aspect that we really value. Next, most millennials have grown up. We're a generation that literally grew up connecting with others in eclectic and very vibrant ways online. So we love this variety of apps that has risen up to provide for that desire. Everything from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter to Reddit to what have you. And even more intimate methods of connection such as Tinder and Match.com. So we propose a marketing campaign, targeted marketing to go along with the expansion. That would be called Find Your Perfect Match. But instead of finding your perfect romantic partner, you would be finding your perfect financial advisor. So basically, via this series of different filters that we've provided, you get to find the perfect financial advisor who knows where you're coming from, knows your goals, knows your desires, etc. We also acknowledge that there will be multiple potential obstacles that go hand in hand with this rollout. First, we've addressed the free and low-cost competitors or network blogs and apps that are available for free. But we actually think that this program would increase the competitiveness of Edward Jones, and that a millennial can read a generic blog directed toward, something general, about 401ks or what have you. But it will not have a financial advisor who knows all these specific aspects of that millennial. They know their background, they know what they're looking for, they know their goals and desires. Similarly, we see that this generation has different goals from the previous generation. It used to be more wealth accumulation, whereas now we're seeing millennials looking more for lifestyle sustainment. They basically just want to maintain the level of living that they're at. So Edward Jones would have to address that with acknowledging these nuanced goals and also putting that emphasis on financial literacy for minorities and whatnot. Finally, there's always the threat that potentially the workforce at Edward Jones will not reflect the diversity of the clients they're pursuing. In this case, we want to, try hiring from more diverse backgrounds, but also we want to make sure non-minority workers are in these badge programs, earning these abilities and capacities and whatnot to best address their clientele. So ultimately, the plan would have 3 steps. We began with this match program, which basically addresses all those elements millennials value most. It's convenient, quick, and easy. The hope is that it would also be mobile. You can connect with someone who may not necessarily be in your area. You can communicate via phone, via email, via Skype, etc. It's authentic because we're appealing directly to those things that millennials value. It's the closest thing you're going to get to peer-to-peer contact with a financial advisor. We found that millennials tend to trust things more when they hear it from their friends, when they hear it from someone they trust, when they hear it from someone they believe comes from a similar background to their own. As such, this is the closest you're going to get with a financial advisor, someone with expertise, seeming like a peer, seeming like a trustworthy source. And of course, we really cannot emphasize enough that customizability element. We definitely want to ensure that the millennials feel valued as an individual. So the Find Your Perfect Match campaign would begin targeted marketing along with the expansion of the match program, and then the badge incentive program would ensure that we continue developing and remain on the cutting edge and make sure that we're still evolving to match the demographic in the UMSL. Thank you.
So let's move to Q&A.
First, excellent presentation. What I like is you all prepared very well. Because I can see that, one after the other, put in that hard work. That showed very well. And you all were very thorough. Because none of you stammered or stuttered. It was like a nice flow. So congratulations on that. A few comments. One is, because of the preparation, I felt feedback and have critical comments. In a lot of words, which is good, but in 20 minute thing, we try to put in too much information.
Okay.
I would rather cut down on that and put a few more visuals. Because I'm only looking at you, instead if you would have spent some more time on putting some visuals, then talk to that. And negative talking points, you can improve.
Sure.
But nothing against what you did, you did extremely well. But the other question I have is, you focused on the millennials, but you already have an existing base.
Yes.
So if you make a change, what about the existing base? So for example, for me, I mean, I know a certain way of filtering, I know a certain way of finding it. Like now you change the website, and I'm the existing client. I'll get confused.
Yeah.
So how do you take care of the existing base and attract the new talent? That didn't come across. So any comment?
We thought about this a number of different
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the things that we also mentioned when we were thinking about our filtering program is we also have like it doesn't matter as an option. So if you just want someone who's closer to you, you can just click not applicable or it doesn't matter. So that's why we made it a filtering option as opposed to like an actual match like you would receive on like a dating website or something, because that was an original idea. But we decided that the filtering was better because it allowed people to decide if they cared or not.
And in regards to current clients, meaning you already have a financial advisor in Edward Jones,
Yes.
then this just doesn't have to matter to you. I can offer to you and say, if you're not totally satisfied or if you think I can get you a better match, here are your options. If not, feel free to stay. You two are connecting and the job is getting done, and that's all you have to do.
We're also saying that Edward Jones financial advisors who already have established client bases, this will not affect them as drastically as new advisors coming in and trying to earn those clients and whatnot. You already have an established client base. And yeah, this might help you and whatnot, but you also are already attracting those older investors who already know how the system works, who already know what they want when you consider an advisor.
Yeah, and with that, one of the things we emphasize is that we wouldn't force like certain people in Edward Jones to get certain badges. That they can go and earn them if they want to. It'll help them attract a better customer base. The only people that we would really require to at least earn one are the people in the pilot program, so we can see if it works.
Thank you.
I would echo Shree's comments. I think fantastic, very prepared, very organized, good delivery of the content in your presentation. A lot of content, so took a lot of notes down, a lot of good notes. Seemed very fast-paced. So I would agree if you could tone it down, and then maybe that would allow you, maybe not tone it down, but be a little bit more concise with what information you want to deliver, so you can really emphasize some of the key points you want to hit on. I think that might help a little bit. But overall, I think good presentation. Question though, thought it was very interesting to hear some of the research on millennials. So they've got less assets, if I understand correctly. They've got more debt, makes sense. And it sounds like an apprehension to invest. How are we going to attract them to Edward Jones? Are you suggesting that the app itself is what's going to draw them to being more interested in investing? Or it sounds like a pretty strong apprehension that you would get involved with that whole seek it out. So just we'd love to hear your thoughts on how we would attract them to read more about Jones and maybe consider visiting the app. Things like that.
One, how would you do it?
I was just saying, finish up the marketing team.
So you do marketing. I wanted to bring it back that we also have the fact that the average financial advisor age is about 55. And more financial advisors are over the age of 70 than 30 or under. So again, we're talking about that trust issue. So right now, millennials do not trust, the data and whatnot. They want to hear from someone who's our own age. Like you specifically wanted she asked for a younger financial advisor who would understand her needs. So right now, I think what we're seeing is millennials who don't feel as if the industry understands them, which is what this is trying to do. Once we feel understood, yeah, we definitely want to retire someday. We want to invest. We want to make sure we're financially stable. But there's a trust gap that needs to be essentially surmounted.
And I think it's important to understand that millennials want to feel like they did something, like they don't want to feel like you swayed their minds. So the marketing campaign will hook them, but they want to be the ones that actually get online and search for the advisor and think, yes or no, I want to go this route. If you pursue too hard, millennials are turned off. It seems aggressive. We don't like that. We want to feel like we did something, at least pat on the back, the participation award. So the marketing campaign within itself should be enough to hook it, and then you need to rely on millennials to do their own research of what we need personally.
That's the thing is we're always Googling everything. So you have a very wonderful relational board policy right now. I don't find my peers particularly liking when someone tries to sell something to us. We want to go online and find those meetings that say, take my money right now, you know, but you're essentially going to find things that you want to invest in. So it is that personalized aspect of you going to the financial advisor. It would be a slight shift in the business model that Edward Jones pursues at this time. Do you make some assumptions?
Perfect.
I also agree that millennials do face a lot of like structural barriers to investing, such as the student loan debt crisis or the fact that we own less assets. But as they were saying, we recognize that those are financial issues that we are facing, and we do want to overcome those. We do want to be financially stable. It's just the trust gap caused by some recent current events.
Good, thank you.
No,
Can I address the question?
It does, yeah, thank you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Yeah, I'll just echo first of all some of the other comments that are made. A great job, and it's like, you obviously were well prepared. And some of the questions that were asked were kind of my mind too, so I'm going to, if you don't mind, shift it, and I'm going to kind of piggyback and also shift a little bit. When you guys were going through this, knowing that, I'm talking about the everyday financial advisors, everything, was there discussion or do you have any thoughts around when we look at our future and something like this? And again, I like the bank program, it's fantastic. But, is that where we should focus? Or, I don't know if it's a chicken and the egg type thing, or do we turn our focus to how do we attract younger financial advisors? And then where, then we get it. So I didn't know if you guys had any thoughts around that.
Yeah, the goal is two-sided. We both want younger financial advisors that go hand in hand with these younger clients. So we're talking, they talked about how in the case analysis, $30 trillion are going to be going to millennials from the previous generation. And 70% of those are women. So we're also looking at other kinds of quote-unquote minorities or just women within the financial industry. And that, we would love to see hiring more from women and minorities and whatnot. But say it's just harder to find a diverse pool because lots of finance majors tend to be men, so that's just hard for everyone to address in general. Which is why we would love men who are aware of maternity leave issues. They have training, they understand those financial elements, so they can speak to a female client and know where they're coming from. Is that address your question?
And I think that's part of it too. Is as the workforce ages, you're going to get a younger workforce coming into that. That's just matriculation. But I do think that one of the important things is you're not going to be able to match demographics perfectly. Your financial advisors are never going to match perfectly to the demographic of the people you serve all the time. But that's why we like the badge program, because it can help people who may not understand that demographic understand it a little bit better. Because I would be happier, even if I had someone, if Spanish was my primary language, I would be happier if I even had someone who understood something about Hispanic culture and could speak Spanish on a conversational level. And I think just making people comfortable and developing a relational business model like that is like how you said, something that we can pursue ourselves is really important.
And in regards to the fact that the millennials coming in as clients are much more diverse than they have in the past, which is why you do need a more diverse workforce. And I understand that there's a affirmative action that takes care of some of that, but I feel like there might have to be some harder recruiting than we have before. Reach out, because if we want to match, not perfectly, but as well as we can, we have to take affirmative action in regards to that, and that's just going to make everyone more cohesive and, I think, more effective.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's all great job.